Hi guys, Thogrey here for a new World of Warcraft video, and this video is a video about the PTR changes that went live yesterday, or at least this evening. We are going to discuss about the Warlock changes for PvP and PvE, and why I'm actually excited about the Blizzard changes on those classes. This time I'm going to talk about the Warlock, and on next videos I'm going to speak about the different class changes, like for example mages, for example DK, or the future changes that are going to go up very soon. Now, before we start, please put a like or dislike on the video. If you liked or disliked the video, helps me a ton. Please comment below what I did good, what I did wrong, what do you want as a video, what could help you to decide about your class for 9.1, or at least what do you want to see as a video from me, content wise, PvP wise. I'm actually working on a few videos. It takes a lot of time since I want to put out some quality videos on montages from a few classes, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Helps me a ton, and it supports me without any money given. Just having the subscriber number change and go up helps me a ton in visibility, but also lets YouTube know that I am actually growing as a channel. And please let me know what kind of content I can make for you guys. Okay, let's begin about the PTR changes. So I'm going to switch to the patch notes. Alright, so Warlock, Dark Pact's talent, additional absorb shield has been increased by 216%. That is the extra flat shield that you get. So it's not that much. It looks a lot, but you're going to win around 2.5k HP shields on the Dark Pact's talent. So it's not that good. I still think Soul Leech is still better than Dark Pact's. But I guess Dark Pact's talent is very good for against burst cleave, like burst comps or comps that you will think that you are going to die on the opener. But the Soul Leash shield, like the basic shield that you get from the start of the arena, is around 5k, 6k, 7k depending on your HP. While this one will give you a big boost on shield, but you won't have the Soul Leash from your damage, from your shield. In general, you will have a lesser shield on the whole arena when you're playing with this talent, except instead of the Soul Leash one. So I still think it's not on par. I guess if you are going to win in the first 30 seconds of an arena match, I guess this one is better. But if the arena match goes beyond 30 seconds, I still think Soul Leash is the better one. Destruction, Chaos Bolt's damage increased by 10%, and that's on top on the PvP changes I'm going to discuss in a few seconds. Affliction, Malefic Rupture damage reduced by 18%. I think it's a good change. I really don't like the actual gameplay around Affliction, which makes that Malefic Rupture is the only thing that can make you kill someone. I feel like it doesn't really make you an Affliction Warlock. I want the gameplay style from Cataclysm or Mist of Pandaria. At the moment, this gameplay is really boring, but I'm excited for the new changes. I'm going to discuss why. Agony damage increased by 20%. It makes it very strong. It hits like a truck. The only problem I see is that it's still not enough for PvP. So they need to change it. For PvE, I think it's good because you can apply Shadowy Embrace really easily, and you have a lot of conduits that help you to have more damage and agony, but also have more easiness on the percentage that you are going to apply on Shadow Embrace. So that's a good change on a good direction. Shadow Embrace lasts for 16 seconds, was 12 seconds, which will make you have an easier time to apply the debuff and stay it on one target, especially that you can only now apply on one target. I feel like on a boss you will deal more damage, but on a pack you will deal a lot less damage since you cannot apply Shadow Embrace on every mob. Focus malignancy conduit effectiveness reduced by 53%, which makes your Malefic Rupture again hit less hard. It is a big nerf. I think that's maybe too much. Maybe this conduit shouldn't be nerfed that much. I think it's really a bad combination with the Malefic Rupture 18% and the 53%, but maybe it will open up other conduits for Affliction that will need some testing around. But in PvP, I hope that you will use other things than the Malefic Rupture to actually kill people. Sacrilege Dark Strike has been redesigned, so corruption damage is increased by 25%. So you gain 10% before the patch, and each time corruption deals damage, it extends the duration of all your curses by 2 seconds. The good thing is it makes that you have more GCDs to play around with, so you can actually apply a slow, and the slow will be longer since it is a curse, and you will have more GCD possibilities. So the slow will still be active without the legendary, since you're going to apply the curse to slow people. But it means that this legendary is not mandatory anymore. Before it's slowed 50% like the whole duration of corruption, and now it has some skill play. I still feel that this legendary could be good in PvP, but now I have more options to play around, and I feel like the Drain Life legendary will be best for Warlocks. I'm pretty sure about it if you are playing Affliction, but I feel like Destruction will be doing a comeback on a lot of comps. So now let's talk about the PvP changes, if it wants to scroll down. So there is a new PvP talent, Shadow Rift. I'm going to show you guys that it is a very good talent to make some sick plays. But I'm going to discuss it in a few seconds. Affliction Soul Shatter PvP talent has been removed. It is not really a big deal since 10% of max HP for corruption was not that very efficient. Nobody took that, and there was no real play around it. It is a void talent, so they removed it instead of Shadow Rift. Demonology gets an extra PvP talent with Fel Obelisk, a very good talent I'm going to show you also right now. I'm not really a fan of Demonology. I don't really know that much of the spec, but if you are going to read the tooltip, it is actually a very good DPS boost. Call Fel Lord now deals 200% of the cost of spell power per swing. That's actually very strong, you're going to see it. And it does crazy damage, but they nerfs the CD, I guess, for around 30 seconds extra CD. That's not a big deal. I feel like you will have one good Fel Lord with one good stun or fear, and you're going to do a lot of damage. Singe Magic has been removed, wasn't really taken anyways. Destruction, new PvP talent, Bonds of Fel, which is probably the most fun talent for Destruction. Opens you up with a lot of possibilities. Chaos Bolt now deals 40% more damage in PvP combat, so they removed Focus Chaos and put it baseline in PvP for Destruction, which is a very good change. You were kinda obliged to take the Focused Chaos PvP talent, but now you can play around and add more PvP talents to your repertoire. Now there's also a lot of rune carving powers changes, and I feel like that's not complete. They will change a lot of other powers like warlocks, druids, hunters. Those powers will change, and I feel like there's a lot of good changes coming our way. So now let's see those changes. So Shadow Rift is a talent that you will choose in the PvP section. Conjure a Shadow Rift with a 10-yard radius at a target location lasting 2 seconds. Any enemies within the zone when it expires are teleported to your demonic circles. That is very strong. That is actually very strong, because if you are behind a pillar and you put like a demonic circle, and then you're going to put the shadow rift. Those ones that are going to get teleported will go to your demonic circle, so you are going to line of sight the healer, for example, and then you can go back on your circle, fear the healer, and then he is CC'd behind the pillar and you can kill your target. It is very strong. I feel like that will give you a lot more playmaking and a lot more agency in the arena. You're going to have a lot more fun with this talent, and I feel it's a very good choice if you're going to go for playmaking. You're still going to play with Rampant Affliction since it's very good for in 3s and 2s. I just wish this talent will be a baseline talent for Warlocks. Once that is changed, then you will have a lot more possibilities, and I hope that they will change that. Now that your Agony has been buffed, you'll go for Wrath in Agony, and you're going to stop with taking Absolute Corruption, since you're probably going to stop taking this Sacrolash Legendary. I'm going to give you an alternative that I also discussed about it on my Warlock guide that you can see right above your screen if you want to check it out, but I'm going to put a new Warlock guide for 9.1 once it's out. You still will play with Inevitable Demise, since it's a very good boost on your damage, especially with the new legendary I'm going to discuss about it. Howl of Terror is one of the better talents that you're going to take. Grimoire of Sacrifice is still the best talent for 45, and Misery or Creeping Death depending if there is a mage in front of you. Now, that's for the talents that I would choose for this spec. Now they have nerfed the Malefic Ruptures. You'll put out still the Malefic Ruptures because it is free damage on everyone. But now you are going to prioritize maybe some Shadow Bolts when you have the possibility to do that in Arena. I feel like this will be a secret OP debuff that you can apply now that you have more time to pull out some Shadow Embraces. Now, let's discuss about the elephant in the room. Which legendary are you going to take for the Warlock, Affliction Warlock? Now, it says I don't have it, but I have it in my bags. Sacrolash Dark Strike will not be taken from me anymore. Like, this is not an option anymore. Before, I took it for specific matchups since I liked the GCD that I didn't need to use for the specific comps. But now what I'm going to play like all the time will be Cloth and the rest. Drain life now channels 100% faster and restores health 100% faster. So you will actually be very tanky, especially if you take some PvP talents that are going to work with it. So now I'm going to play mostly with Cloud Boots of Endereth. You can always play with a Relic of Demonic Surgery, which gives you a good 10% increased damage uptime, especially if you are playing with Grimoire of Sacrifice. It is very efficient. You can also play with the Malefic Rupture, increases the damage of your Shadow Bolts. Could be good. Actually could be good if you're going to go for the talent Nightfall, but I don't have the legendary, so maybe once I have the legendary, maybe I will make a video about it if it's worth it to use it in PvP. Perpetual Agony, I guess, is something that you could play, but I don't think you need the Sword Shard anymore since the basic spender is not that good anymore. Wrath of Consumption is not a PvP talent, legendary, so that is for the Warlock. I'm going to use a lot of spells just to let you see the damage that it does. I don't have the add-on that makes better or at least more visible damage, but actually it still does quite some damage. 3.4, no crits. So I don't know. I feel like it's a good one. And then you go with the Suck. It's quite fast and it makes quite some good damage. I miss a lot of add-ons, it's very annoying. And then you can use the Rift, and they're going to get TP'd on the circle. Well, those ones are dummies. but they are very efficient and very nice. Maybe I'm going to show you at the end of the video what the Shadow Rift does in a duel, so you can see how efficient it can be. You can pair it with Shadow Fury, so you can actually put a Shadow Rift beneath them and make them TP very efficiently. Could be very good versus healers, to be honest, or a warrior that is training your healer, Shadow Rift under their feet, and then they are going to get TP'd behind the pillar, will need to walk to you or to your friend to actually go back to his kill target. Could be very nice. Alright, now for the destruction changes. What I see is there is a lot of possibility to actually have a very fun time with destruction. So the new PvP talent that you will have is Bonds of Fel. Encircles enemies with Bonds of Fel, snaring them for 50% for 6 seconds, which is very good for a 1.5 second cast. If any target leaves the 8-yard radius, deals 8.3k fire damage split amongst all nearby enemies. So I imagine that it will split for 2 or 3 persons, so the damage is not that impressive. But what's good about it is if it's a duel, or you see that you are trained by the warrior, like it's 2v2 warrior healer, and you are with a healer like a resto druid, and the warrior is on you, you put Bonds of Fel underneath you, and it's a fire damage spell, so if it gets kicked you can still have chaos bolts, which is enormous. So they will need to kick it on a 1.5 second cast, which is pretty ridiculously fast for the meta, and I feel like it's a good decision to have it as a PvP talent. So you will snare for 50% damage, 50% movement speed, and you will put out some good single target damage. So that's a very good PvP talent. I will use it, and it's also very fun if you're going to pair it with Shadow Rift. Example, this guy will not leave the Bonds of Fel. Very good. You will put Shadow Rift beneath the Bonds of Fel, and then he will get the damage regardless, and also gets teleported behind a pillar, which will give you a lot of breathing room against warriors, against paladins, against rogues, against whatever, you know. Against melee is going to be very good to play with Shadow Rift. Now, like for example, if you're playing with the Madness of Azrakir, so I'm going to put it down, you will have a good Chaos Bolt build. Actually, since you have the 40% extra damage baked in on your Chaos Bolt, it will be maybe very interesting to play with the new legendary, or at least with the old legendary, but the new Biz legendary for Destruction Warlock. The Chaos Bolt increases the damage of your Chaos Bolt by 25% and reduces the cast time of Chaos Bolt by 20%, which is in the beginning very hard to do, but now that you have more possibilities to kite, more possibilities to outplay, I feel now this legendary will see more play. And since you're playing with this legendary, and Conflag is now maybe just a backdraft machine, you could play with Eradication, you could play Reverse Entropy, you can play with maybe Reign of Chaos, maybe with Grimoire of Sacrifice. You can not play with Hall of Terror since Mortal Core, but what's good about it, you have the extra damage on your Chaos Bolt. So Chaos Bolt will have 40% more damage on PvP, plus the 10% that you will get from the general changes from the PTR. But also, you will have finally the Havoc Chaos Bolt also put out some good damage on 2 targets, on 3 targets, and being super obnoxious to play against. So that's a very good change. And now if you play with Shadow Rift, okay, you will not play with Demon Armor if you have Cremation, but I feel like now the damage could be only and solely about Chaos Bolt, and then you can play with Demon Armor, which will make you obnoxious to play against, but also very annoying to stick to the target, especially if you're playing as a Night Fae with Soul Shape. You're going to put out some misery on those people. So that's actually a very strong, like there is no yard I feel like you can. I didn't make that much testing, and I did test it outside of Ogrimmar. But if the range is, let's say, infinite, and you're going to put out the circle, and you put the Shadow Rift underneath the warrior, they will have to mount up just to come back to you. So I feel that like this talent will be very nice. So I'm going to explain the new talent, the Bounce of Fel. There is a good radius, they will get slowed, and when they go outside, they will get the 8.3k fire damage. Of course, in PvP with versatility, it will be less, but at least if it crits, it can crit for 10k, it can crit for 9k. And that's maybe a game changer, since the HP pools will be a lot higher, but your damage will also go higher with the eye level that is going to go up automatically. So yeah, I feel like the plays around the Destruction Warlock will be a lot funner if you go 2 Chaos Balls right now. I have 10k and then 13k, 14k. It's not that much because I don't really have the gear for it. But if you're spec into it and you have the gear for it, then I think Chaos, like Destruction Warlock, will be very fun to play. And now you can havoc this target and then you go for Chaos Bolt. Bam, you have 2 Chaos Bolts, and that's very nice for burst damage. And then you go for the Bounce of Fel, they are very annoyed about it, and then you put the Shadow Rift on the target. Wait, I don't have the turmeric circle, and then you put the Shadow Rift on the target, you do Shadow Fury, and they are like screwed. Alright, and that is for the changes for Destruction Warlock. I will put out a guide again once 9.1 is out. I think it's going to be in August, hopefully not. And I'm excited about Destruction Warlock. I don't really want to play retail anymore, since I want those changes to hit live. And now I have tasted on the PTR, I feel like I don't really need or want to come back from it. Alright, so let's change the spec to Demonology. So now we are on our Demonology spec Warlock. I don't really have legendary for it because I don't really play Demonology, but I'm going to explain the new legendary. It is Fel Obelisk. The new PvP talent is Fel Obelisk. Summon a Fel Obelisk with 5% of your maximum health. So it is around tick tock, 1800 health, so it will be, problem is it will be killed. I feel like it's too underpowered. 5% health is like 0, but it empowers you and your minions within 40 yards, so I guess you are going to put out the Fel Obelisk behind the pillar, and increasing attack speed by 20% and reducing the cast time of your spells by 20%. So I feel like if you have a lot of demons on the map, and you're going to hit very hard, you're going to put out all your demons out, then you put out your Fel Obelisk, and you're pretty much going to give a Bloodlust to everyone for a short period of time. It is not a Bloodlust, but it is actually a Bloodlust, since it's instant. It's an instant cast. You can also cast it on 20 yard. You put out the Fel Obelisk, like 1800 HP behind the pillar, and then you can cast a lot faster. Yeah, that's actually very nice. I like it. Maybe it will change my playstyle. Maybe I will play a lot more Demonology. But it looks good. It looks actually good. The damage is not impressive, I think, since it's not destruction. And I'm like playing only destruction and affliction these times, since I don't really enjoy the playstyle of demons in this expansion. But yeah, I feel like there is a lot of things you can do around it. And then you put the Fel Obelisk, and everyone has increased attack speed. It's actually nice. So those are the changes for Warlock. I'm going to give you an example of the Shadow Rift at the end of the video. I'm going to head to Ogrimmar so I can show you guys about the Shadow Rift. Excuse me guys, I didn't really talk about the Call of Fel Lords, but actually I'm going to show you. But why can I? Okay, call Fel, summon a Fel to guard the location for 15 seconds. Enemy, like any enemy that comes within 6 yards will suffer 3.5 physical damage, and player's struck will be stunned for 1 second. So I feel like it's good since it's instant cast, and you will have some good damage if you're going to get trained by a melee, so you can be static. But yeah, I feel like it's a good PvP talent if you play around it. I still think Hall of Terror is one of the better talents to use. Don't know why I use Mortal Coil, but okay. I'm going to show you the Shadow Rift. Alright, so I'm going to test Shadow Rift right now. So you will have to be on a 30-yard range. So when you use it, it will get teleported to your circle of teleportation, which is very good. Demonic circle, and you will have to outplay some people, but if you are going to get trained, it will be very nice. Like, it's around like 40 yards if you're going to cast there and goes back to your teleportation. It's actually very nice. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys have some understanding about the changes about Warlock. I think they will change a lot more things in the future. For now, I feel like those changes are actually very fun to play around it. This will be my build, I think, in PvP arena if they don't really change anything. Dark Pact, again, like I showed you, it's only 2k5 more HP that you're going to win on the Dark Pact talent. I still think Demon Skin is better with the Soul Leash. But if you are playing as a rogue mage, maybe Dark Pact could be seeing some play, especially if you are playing with a healer. If they get sapped or CC'd, you have like an actual oh shit button that you can press if you are going to if you actually want to survive the damage. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked the video. I hope I did learn you some new things about the PTR. I've woken up about with those changes. I said to myself I need to talk about those changes since I'm very excited about the Warlock, and I really want to play the Shadowlands 9.1 patch, since the 9.0.5 patch is really stale, nothing is changing, and I feel bad that I need to wait around 3-4 months before I can use those PvP talents that are actually exciting. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet, and also have a great and fine day. Be safe. See you next. Bye.
Know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun.